I guess we'll start off. Number one piece of feedback was that the last time we got really dark really quickly. um,
I don't know. I feel like we could go darker.
well, I think I could do better now. Hang on, let's see. But yeah, no, I think it's one of those things. Podcasts, that you get into what you get into. That sometimes it's dark, sometimes it's not dark. Like, I thought we had a pretty good mix whilst we were. Like as we were recording it, I didn't think it was too dark for too long in any one place. But
same, yeah.
Maybe as a whole.
One of my kind of goals with the podcast is not to have it too PG, which I was kind of worried about. So
yeah,
I don't know. I thought the first episode turned out well, but I don't think we dwelled on too much.
Didn't dwell on too much
dark stuff.
Bad stuff.
No,
just sort of the important stuff. It's like there's things you kind of have to talk about. Things that like once in a generation kind of stuff. That you gotta get your pace on. Other news: the seafood place that was shut down at the end of the last episode was open again a few days later at both locations. So the burgers are available for all of us.
That's good.
Which is great. I really want a burger now. I've made myself hungry. Yeah, do you have any housekeeping from last time? Anything you want to... Maybe you said something that you misspoke, or you thought to yourself, oh, I should have said it differently or phrased it differently?
Not really at all, no. I get, I think one of the kind of key points was maybe try not to curse as much, but... I'll try. I'll
try my best.
It's also just
you can't
part of my vocabulary.
Tell me what to do.
Yeah. And as my mum always said, never trust anybody who doesn't curse. So yeah.
Sounds like a wise woman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Something I want to touch on. So we talked about Neuralink last week. And I didn't really know an awful lot about Neuralink. I just kind of knew that Papa Musk was looking for that cyberpunk sort of thing where you just stuck things in your neck and you could all of a sudden hack devices. But someone brought to my attention that they put a chip in a pig's brain, and I thought he was just planning to do it I don't know how I thought he was planning to do it. I thought he was planning to do it like fucking USB style, where there I go swearing away. I thought he was planning to do it USB style, where you had a port in your brain and or a port in your neck, and then I don't know how they was planning to do it. I don't know.
I think they literally implant a chip.
Yeah, I don't know what I thought they were planning to do. I don't know how I thought they were planning to interface anything with anybody's brain without putting a physical chip in their brain. But anyway, so they have this pig, and they have put a chip in the pig's brain, and linked it to its the neuroreceptors for its snout. So anytime it sniffs something or touches something with its nose, the chip sends out a signal. So yeah, he just brought this pig out in the middle of it was the weirdest contrast I have ever seen. It was this really fancy, when you go to a formal or something, there's really fancy dining halls, and then there was the stage, and there was this robot thing, and then they just they brought this pig out, and there was a pen, so when you looked just at the pig, it looked like you were at the Balmoral show or something, and somebody was trying to sell you a pig, like Elon Musk. Oh, just now, sir, that pig there, oh, he's the best pig I've ever done had. I tell you, that'll bring lots of value to your farm. Don't you worry about him. He's a good pig now. He's easy looked after. And then just panned over, and Elon Musk standing there in this suit with people in the background in these really fancy dresses and stuff, and it was just weird. But anyway, yeah. So he showed that the chip, anytime it sensed the pig sniff something, the chip sent out a pulse. So he's planning to go for kind of machine brain device connectivity, not even going through software or hardware, just going straight to doors and stuff.
I noticed sorry, I've still got this cough a week later. If it's not gone by next week, I'll be quite concerned. But
we're definitely not recording these on the same day.
Yeah, but no, he also did the same thing with a monkey, where I think he implanted a chip in its brain, and then he was able to get it to play games with its eyes or whatever, which is pretty bizarre.
That's something else I looked up, or no, I didn't look it up. I saw it on Reddit. Of all places, Reddit, wow, godsend for podcast topics. But there was like a chimp at a zoo, and like there's these memory recall games that they can get chimps to play, where it's like it flashes up on like there's a black screen, and then it flashes up a whole lot of numbers, and then like there's like it starts off with one number, and like, you just have to hit like 1, and then 2 come up, and then 1, and then 2, and go on and on. Human beings, we can only get to like 9 or 10 before we start having trouble with it. And I saw this chimp saw 20 and was just straight away got them all done. And apparently it's because we traded off that ability when we learned to speak. So we rewired our brain. I would love to be able to do that, because like, you know, the memory games that you play and you're like, I really want to get the high score, but I'm too human brain to get it. I want to get up.
Yeah. My memory's fucking awful, man. I mean, I don't know, like we have friends that like tell us stuff that like happened, like that he can remember from like when he was like 1 year old, and I can barely remember what happened last week.
Yeah, I don't even remember what I had for breakfast. Like, stop it. Yeah, but going on even more about like implantable tech. So there's Neuralink, obviously, which is kind of like an extreme, but even back ages ago couldn't even be thought of. But like RFID and NFC stuff now, like people are running around implanting RFID chips like in the webbing between their fingers, so that like whenever they're trying to get into their apartment, they're just like, and they open the door.
I don't know, man. Like, it's I guess I guess it would be a good way to kind of like fend off robbers and stuff, like being able to lockpick you. I guess like if there's no kind of like handles or anything, but but at the same time, it kind of feels a bit far fetched, like implanting something into here so you can go like that in front of the door. You can just open the door.
Just open the door. Yeah. Like you're doing on like you're doing TikTok. It's like, here's a real easy life hack in order to open your chips, and they like say, oh, go and get like a pair of scissors and then like attach all this to it and like do this and then swing it at this angle and it'll open your bag. Yeah, and the dude's just like I've
seen that. Yeah.
Oh,
that's the way I feel about a lot of things as well. It's like people are trying to show you all these amazing hacks. It's like whatever happened to just doing it normally and like keeping it simple.
Yeah, coming as far as like wearable tech and stuff, like it gets to the point where you really are like, we were so preoccupied with whether or not we could, we didn't stop to think if we should.
Yeah, I know it. It feels like because they have the potential to do stuff, they feel like they should
do it. Yeah,
just do it whenever there's not really like any sort of. Well, I've infected you as well.
No, I drank too much of my tea too quickly.
Fair, but
my lungs trying to stop me from being British.
As you say, it's more about because they can do it rather than whether they should do it.
Forget about should we?
Should we invest money into this or put it into something more?
Can we first? Should we later?
More productive. Yeah.
I've actually been more prepared this time. My notes are on a separate monitor. They're not shared on this, so I don't have to jump around the place.
I definitely have notes.
With Neuralink, and I didn't really think about it because obviously when we were talking about it last week, we thought that the real use case would be like quadriplegics and paraplegics that, you know, don't really have. Yeah. So like, yeah, like you have the Neuralink in your head and then you wear an exoskeleton, or just, and then, so then you like think about controlling the exoskeleton instead of your limbs.
I don't know, it interacts with your neurons some way, is what I understand. I remember like trying to read up in the science of it, but as soon as I read up on it, it just went out in my head after I was never great at biology.
But the thing I didn't think about, because we thought of that very specific use case, or even if that is the end game for it and they don't have any bigger plans, which I doubt they don't. Like I'm sure Papa Musk wants us to go towards a full cyberpunk society, where we just have to think about something and it happens and we get it. Like, oh, I need to order some need to order some things from Amazon, and instead of having to take time later on and get it, like your brain just does it then and there.
See, the thing about that scares me is imagine other people could just read your thoughts then.
Yeah. Well, then you're into thought police and stuff, and
Yeah.
But a thing I didn't think about that was raised by someone I know that was listening to the podcast, which is great, by the way. Like, people were like, "Oh yeah, I was listening to this. That's really cool." And I'm like, "Man, I am not at all profound in any way. Why am I provoking thoughts in your head?" But they've raised the point of like EMPs and stuff.
Yeah.
You think about EMPs and you think like Call of Duty style. There's an EMP coming in. Take cover, or we can take cover from EMPs, and then like all your electronics get fried. But like solar flares and stuff can cause similar effects, like interference and things like that. So it was kind of an interesting point. Like, what if someone has a Neuralink in and an EMP goes off? But like, what if Neuralink gets to the point where, like, say people that were what we like locked in syndrome, or that are not brain dead but like totally paralyzed. Like, if Neuralink gets to the point where you can write a subroutine on a Neuralink that will run your brain for you, like, people are just going to start dropping dead. But then you're starting to so then you're in, I'm thinking like, well, okay, but without a Neuralink, those people are technically already dead. So is it killing them, or is it just like turning off their Neuralink?
No idea. I have no idea.
Or
man.
is it practical to
I guess my main the thing that sort of intrigued me the most about it is like what sort of material is it made of that it can just sit in your slimy ass brain and not just like fry?
Well, yeah, there's that too.
Yeah.
Like, I think the pig that Elon Musk, well, I doubt Elon Musk is doing it himself, but the pig that Neuralink is in was called Gertrude, and I think it was in for 2 months, and Gertrude was fine, the chip was fine, nothing had changed. Yeah. So I would assume it is some kind of silicone mix.
Yeah, it's probably coated in something that the like fluids can't get to it or something.
Like with hip replacements and stuff, they have ceramic ones, they have metal ones that don't really reject from the body. So I don't know what they're putting in them, but they're built different. Yeah, that's. I mean, it's an interesting concept. I'll be interested to see where it goes.
It is, yeah.
I saw on LinkedIn.
I just feel like I feel like I just don't know enough about it yet, but it's something
it's
that I'd
definitely
like
something to keep
to
an eye
look
on.
into a lot more.
Like, I saw on LinkedIn, of all places, that some biologists have found a way to grow human optical cells that do respond to light. So, like, we're starting to grow
Optic is in eyes.
Yeah, as in like your nerves and your neurons and stuff that actually respond to.
So that could potentially help blind people.
Yeah, we'll grow you a new set of eyes.
Yeah.
Or a new set of nerves.
Nerves.
The thing I was thinking then is, so if it is now possible to grow body parts and stuff, a lot of like research and stuff that we or experiments that we would have wanted to run but are classified as unethical, since the parts aren't actually coming from people anymore, like we're just growing them. Is that going to open up all that sort of stuff to, or is it going to be firmly in the realm of man was not meant to meddle?
I don't know, like I get, to me it doesn't seem like completely unethical if it's something you're growing, but then again, I suppose you always run the risk of creating something that is excuse my French anti-cursing viewers, fucked up. But yeah, like I don't know, but to me it doesn't seem like unethical to the extent where you're actually like experimenting on actual humans. So I don't know,
because like it's obviously, like, if it's stuff like that, they're not actually alive because they don't have a brain or conscience, that it is living they are living cells.
Yeah.
It's really kind of hard to wrap your head around. So we'll move on. I saw it on Instagram, and it wasn't really like, it's not news to anybody, but apparently Tesla wants to be able to like have the radios be Bluetooth, so like if another Tesla's nearby, you can connect and chat to them. Like,
I feel like that could be very annoying. Could you imagine you're just trying to like go out for a peaceful drive, and this group of like chavs or something are just like spamming your Bluetooth going,
yo sir, yo. Oh man. Yeah, no, it would.
That'd be torture, man.
It would.
But obviously, you're gonna have to like accept pairing and stuff like that.
I'd assume you can opt out of it. Like, I don't want this.
Yeah.
I don't want this at all. Please don't. Yeah, no, I just thought it was quite funny. Like, just imagining being stuck on traffic. Like, just sir, the one thing's green. Go.
So there isn't. Excuse me. So there isn't really. I haven't noticed a lot of Teslas in Northern Ireland. Like, I see one or two about, but down south there's a lot more. But I would imagine it'd be kind of annoying like in the future, whenever like sort of more people start to drive Teslas and there's a lot more of them on the road, like everybody pulling up beside you and they're all just like pinging you for like pairing requests at the same time.
You're driving like
20
you're
people.
driving like a fucking maniac. What are you doing?
Yeah, no, definitely.
I don't know, it's an interesting concept for sure.
It is. It'll be funny to see, because I do kind of want to end up with a Tesla, so I want to see kind of what
same.
how it works out. Like, could you have Tesla friends, and like if you're both out driving for a while, just like call up on the sat phone? I don't know.
Like
I think it would be quite
a
cool.
wee Tesla hub, the way they have like a wee Tesla hub, the way they have like PSN and stuff, where you have all your friends and you're just sharing photos of your Teslas and stuff like that.
Just record your drives out of the front dash cam and see how it goes.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else you want to talk about? Any lighthearted news? Any quite small things? Anything that you thought, that'd be class?
I mean, I have. There's some stuff I think you know that I want to talk about, but I don't know if we're in the right like tone yet to like sort of speak about it.
I'm not quite worked up enough to chat about that yet.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right, well, I'll take our lighthearted mood and tone it down a bit.
Fair enough.
So it turns out that
somebody's calling me right now. I'm just going to ignore them. Yeah.
So it turns out the Taliban are now the government in Afghanistan.
Yeah, that's bizarre, but I don't know very much about that, but I know it hasn't been the first time. I think it was like a 1990, like 5 to like 2001 or something was the last time they.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, those dates could be wrong, but.
Yeah, they were founded in '94, and then I think, yeah, they just kind of appeared and
let me see.
Took over. But I have an image. I searched up. I googled just so I would have a few more talking points. I just typed the word Taliban into my search engine. So number one, I'm definitely on a list now. But it was age I used. So what?
1996 to 2001.
All right. Yeah, they founded in '94. Yeah. Oh yeah, from 1996 to 2001, Taliban held power over 3/4. Yeah, but I searched up Taliban. So number one, I'm on a list. But number two, there's like an images section on Bing, like just randomly halfway down the page, and the first image is of like a few Taliban boys in Dodgem carts in an amusement park.
What? That's nuts. I want to see that actually. I'm going to look that up.
I'll send you the image if I can.
Oh, there it is.
Yep, you find it.
That's it.
It's just the wee gold go-kart. I'm in the Mercedes today.
So bizarre. Did you see that like propaganda video they put out where they were like dressed in like all the like spec ops gear, like all the like armor and stuff, and all the gloves and like the helmets and the sunglasses and all?
I didn't.
It was so different from what they normally wear. They like put out this like special like Taliban special forces propaganda video.
Right.
I didn't see the video, but I like saw the image. That obviously this is just like the gear that
Yeah.
like army have left behind or whatever, and they've just
They're just going for a wee photo
Technically.
shoot.
yeah, I mean, I've heard that they claim they they want like a peaceful like change of power and stuff, but that's all well and good. But I suppose like if you were like a woman, obviously it's not great. Because I saw like apparently they were like immediately like kind of like painting over like women's like fashion murals and like kind of like shutting down hairdressers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
For like women like beauty salons. So.
They say they want a peaceful transfer of power, but like there's a whole article on Wikipedia about it, of war crimes they committed during their Taliban offensive. There is at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 8. There's 8 things on this that they did. So I mean, I think it's sort of like the left hand doesn't know what the right hand's doing. So their media team are saying we want peaceful whatever, and sort of the actual fighters are just doing whatever they want.
Yeah.
I won't get
I don't
into
know,
it.
again, it's something I don't know enough about to like sit here and pretend I do. But
Yeah, it was just a very quick thing to happen.
Yeah.
Like-
100%, especially because Joe Biden was like on saying that it was not something that could like ever happen, and then like 2 months later it did, which is pretty bizarre. And then the president just like fled the country.
Yeah,
as
he was
well.
like, I'm done, bye.
Yeah.
You can have it.
Yeah.
I'm finished. I'm done
nuts,
playing
man.
with it. No, it was just a really quick thing to happen, and obviously it's been months in the making, because you can go back and see like on this Wikipedia article, in May they started taking places.
Yeah.
So a month or two, but then recent Kabul and stuff just went in days, which was just crazy. What time we live in. I know a lot of ex-military and stuff are very angry, because obviously that's what they went to serve for, and now obviously it's all been for nothing, and their friends died, and a lot of them have been crippled, so just senseless in the purest form of it. And then Joe Biden's saying basically, we never went to Afghanistan to build a nation, we went to defeat Al-Qaeda. I was like, why did you not leave after you did?
I don't know. I feel a lot of people probably have different opinions about that sort of stuff. Yeah.
If you have something you want to say about the Taliban capturing Afghanistan, head to Anchor and leave a message, and we'll stick it in the next one. That's something else I want to talk about. Anchor messages. Nobody left any Anchor messages, which is, I guess, okay, because a lot of people aren't really comfortable with hearing themselves on podcasts and stuff. Like a lot of people did send me like their own thoughts about what we talked about privately, which was fine, because we can stick it in here now in our own little rambles. But if you do want to be in the podcast without being on the podcast, send a message on Anchor.
Yeah, if you have any like even any like I guess funny stories that you want to share that we could discuss or something like that too. Yeah. Go for it.
Bob and LOK's advice are I think I kind of want to talk about this twofold, because I was researching it to expand on it, because I said I would last time, but then there's been a small development. So Apple's CSAM detection system. So I read more into it. So they're kind of coming at it on a few fronts. They're coming at it on, first of all, in your like messages, like your text messages. They have an AI, a machine learning thing that, like, if you're using a child account, it'll warn you that what you're about to open or send is explicit one way or the other.
Yeah.
Twice. And if they say they want to open it the second time, it'll then send a notification to their parents. And it doesn't generate any stats or anything to, track how many times a child opens an image or something. And then on
just kind of like, here, your son's opening that, he shouldn't be.
Your son's opening that there, don't be at that. But then also they have a thing that like if you're in an abusive relationship and your partner is making you use a child account so that they get notifications, and that's why they do it twice. So if you deny it the first time, they don't tell anybody that you tried to open it. Which it's not really something you would really necessarily want, because it's the only thing so far that actually does send a notification to anybody. And it's like, even then, it's like, is it really? I don't know. Are people in abusive relationships where the abuser is only angry if they're looking at indecent images?
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like a very narrow use case, or an edge case.
Yeah, it's a very bizarre use case. Yeah.
Then in the actual Photos app, so because you can back up your photos to iCloud in case you change phones and just download them again, basically it only runs on the images you're uploading to back up. So it will detect collections of known images, so it won't detect new ones.
Okay.
So the first phase, it runs like a blind perceptual hash. So like, you know the way if you were to take two different phones and take a picture of the same thing, like an MDA or an MD5 hash or an SHA would be completely different files. A perceptual hash would be like, if I take a picture on my phone and then crop it or something, they're technically different files, but they're enough the same.
Okay. Yep, that makes sense.
So basically then, your device doesn't know the result of each check. They can only then decrypt that on the server, and they'll only decrypt how many matches are on the server if it's over a certain number. This is all very good, it's all very privacy preserving, until the news I read on Reddit yesterday. You know what that news is?
What?
Somebody reverse engineered the algorithm.
Oh dear.
So obviously, if you know how the algorithm works, you know how to trip it up. So now there's an abundance of concern that people are going to start making images that are false positives, sending them out into the wild, and people will think that they're just memes and download the memes.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, Apple's bashing down the door. Why are you uploading all these?
Yeah.
So yeah, basically
find a good idea. Somebody always try a way to like find a hole in it.
dead before it started.
Yeah.
It was a good initiative. It absolutely does nothing to detect new images. So if you're using an iPhone to make new CSAM, it's never going to find it.
Yeah.
And also it only
But then, how does it get to the point where like does it like obviously it has like some like sort of like database or whatever like of these known like hashes or images or whatever, like does it like run like an update on that like every couple of months to add new images, or how
I think
does
it
that
does.
work?
So like it's on your device, so it doesn't send your photo to the server to compare it to bring it back. Like the whole database is on your phone, which is why the operating system keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger, because the database is in your kernel, or it's not in your kernel, it's somewhere.
Okay.
It's on your phone. But it only contains images that are known by two separate official authorities in two separate countries, or two or more separate countries.
Okay.
So if one country has 10 images and another country has 15, the 10 that they both have are going to be in the data set, but the extra ones aren't.
Yeah.
So like it's like, you'd think, well, why would you not put them all in? That's certainly what I'm thinking. Like, obviously I know with space constraints and stuff, but surely you want to catch as much of it as you can.
Yeah.
like so yeah, I don't know, it seems kind of, the more it goes on and the more the flaws come out with it, the more it seems like it's just kind of sort of white knighting, like, oh, we're trying, like, don't try, just do. Just, like
in the words of Kratos, don't apologize, be better.
Yeah, be better, exactly.
So it's kind of dead in the water for now. Then is what you're saying.
It's dead in the water
or?
for now. I don't know. Maybe there is more that's going to be done about it, or more that's going to come out around it. But for now, it seems like it's kind of just another tech demo from Apple. Because they had their AirPower thing where it was basically just one huge wireless charging coil that never came to anything, and they were trying to do it like over Wi-Fi and stuff, send targeted waves to devices, and it all just sort of fizzled out. So yeah, no, that was the biggest thing I like in my notes document. Everything else was quite small, but I've actually summarized that a lot quicker than any of the rest of them.
Yeah, no, that's pretty interesting. And it's,
so we'll see how it goes.
Certainly it certainly expands my knowledge on it as well.
Yeah, that's definitely a good idea.
Last week I wasn't even aware of it.
Yeah.
So.
And a thing that did come up, some people didn't know what a hash was. Because I sort of took for granted that I could just talk to you frankly about it without having to explain it, but I forgot that not everybody else would know. But basically any file on a computer or on your phone or on the internet can be represented as a number. And they're all very different, so when you download software and stuff, they're like, oh, check that the hash for this, what you've downloaded, is the same as this number here, so that you haven't been scammed or anything. It's just a way to make sure things are the same. And it's a way to store things really small as well, so you can just store the hash and then reverse it for or no, you can't reverse hashes, like for passwords and stuff. You store a hash of the password, and then if you put it in and it gets the same number after the same. Anyway, I'm rambling. It turns things into numbers, and then the numbers are the same.
No, I think that makes sense.
Yeah. £54 for the for the hash course from two pals on Limited Craic. Yeah. Any traveling? Any travel news that you're interested in at the minute? Anything from abroad, other than the Taliban taking over Afghanistan?
Any travel news? No.
They're just poking.
Well, I mean, there's places I'm traveling to soon that I'm excited about.
Oh yeah, where are we going?
So I'm going to the Arnold's Expo over in Birmingham. It's the first time they've ever held it in the UK. So what it is it's it's essentially Comic-Con for like fitness people. So it has like bodybuilding and kind of like powerlifting and like I think it's like there's like dancing at it as well for some reason, and then there's like MMA and boxing and fighting and all that sort of stuff too. So no, I'm definitely looking forward to it. I think Arnold's obviously going to it, and then I heard Sylvester Stallone's going to it as well. But guess how much a photo is for or like for a photo with Arnold or Sylvester Stallone.
I think you were saying, but like,
yeah,
like if I had to value them myself, I don't know. Maybe I just don't put a very high value on myself, but I would not be caught dead charging anyone more than like.
No, especially for a celebrity of their magnitude.
Yeah, like I mean,
it just doesn't make a lot of sense.
I wouldn't be caught dead charging anyone more than £20 to take a picture of me, but like,
yeah,
I don't know. Maybe it's just because there's so many people that want to do it. They kind of don't want to have the schedules being so packed. Oh, how much is it though?
It is £500 for one photo and 750. Sorry, this cough is fucking annoying me.
It's killing you.
£750 for two photos as well.
Why would you want to take two photos? So I assume then somebody else takes a photo.
Like, and as you say, it's not even like you're getting this huge personal reaction because was this in the podcast we were talking about it last week about Or no,
I don't think it was.
Talking to me about this personally?
I think I was talking to you about it personally.
You were saying like Arnold just like goes through a list. He's like, "How are you? Yeah, great." And then like goes on.
You're so strong. Yeah. So good,
a 2-second interaction with Arnold before you get told to fuck off.
He just has a security guard that stands over his shoulder and goes, next. For
£500, man. And then I think the cheapest photos at the event are like £50 or like £75 or something. That's for your photos with like Eddie Hall, and then I think like Khabib Nurmagomedov's going, and how do you say his name, like George St. Pierre, he's another MMA fighter. And then Usain Bolt's going as well. Wim Hof, the Iceman. He also is going. Ronnie Coleman, who's an 8-time Mr. Olympia. And Dorian Yates is going as well, but you don't have to like pay to get a photo with him because he's just like sitting there with his own stand. So, but I mean, it'll be like fucking packed probably. So,
yeah, well, I guess that's sort of why they like sort of price people out of the market so that they're not spending all day taking photos. I guess is an easy way to say it.
No, that's true. But no, I'm definitely excited to go to it. As I said, it's the first time they've held it in the UK. Every other time it's kind of, I don't know if they've done it like other places in Europe, but I think it's like usually in like America and stuff they hold it too.
I wonder why they're holding it in the UK. Like,
I have no idea. Maybe I'm not sure if there's like any kind of like COVID reason or something like that, because I know America seems to be pretty much back to normal with like kind of like concert capacities and stuff, and I think this event's going to be full capacity as well, like from what I've heard. So, but yeah, I'm assuming you'll probably need your like 2 like vaccines or something too.
Yeah, I would say so.
So yeah.
Oh, that'll be good crack. I mean, I wonder why they're doing it now in the UK though. Like, why now all of a sudden?
I have no idea. They never, from what I've seen, like they didn't really give a reason. It was more so like just like, oh, it's the first time we're doing it in the UK. Yeah, there wasn't like any sort of like reason behind it.
Do they run them like sort of everywhere, or is it like, I'm assuming it is like the Arnold events, and then they just happen?
Yeah, because they have like Arnold Classics and stuff, and then I think this is the Arnold Classic, and then like you have your actual like kind of like bodybuilding finals and stuff at it, and like strongman events and stuff like that. I'm actually going to see the strongman final on the Sunday, so that'll be interesting too.
Yeah, that'll be good.
But you have to pay like, you have to buy like different tickets for like the actual expo during the day,
Big
and
tickets.
then like another ticket for the finals at night.
Yeah. Yikes.
Yeah. So it's pretty costly, like, but
hopefully it'll
exciting.
It'll be good.
Yeah.
Something I want to talk about, because I just seen it here. For some reason, my browser has opened the Steam website. The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim Special Edition is now available. How many editions of this?
It was available like 10 years ago.
How many editions of this game is there?
Special edition came out like 10 years ago or something, didn't it? Like,
I have absolutely no clue.
I'm gonna Google that. How many editions?
So many editions,
Skyrim.
man. The developer
9 different versions of the game for various
platforms. Oh my god! I know. I saw a thing. I think it was one of those recommended Snapchat stories. How basically they're like, when they were making Skyrim, there's a quest at some point in the game. I've never really gotten far into the game, but there's a quest where you have to pick up like a bee or a dead bee, or you find like a bee's something to do with the bee.
I can't remember that.
That basically takes you right back to the opening, like the trail for the opening sequence where the cart goes down the road.
Yeah.
And because they didn't put the cart on like rails, which is basically a game's term for, because it's in a cutscene, it can't really go anywhere else, because so they'll just make it only follow one path.
Yeah.
But they actually simulated it and just told the horse where to go. So the horse was just actually walking as it would be in real time in the game. But the collider that they put on this like bee was absolutely huge. And it kept hitting the cart and sending it into space, and nobody could see it because the bee itself was so small. They had to like click on it in the editor to see where the collision was going. So they just knew that something was sending the cart into space, but they had absolutely no clue what. And it really slowed down development. I think it nearly scrapped the game, I think.
Oh really? Oh, see, I thought whenever you were talking about this, it actually made its way into the final game. I was like,
no, well, the bee is still there, I think. But they basically found out that it was the collider was making it so that it could be picked up, but also so that things couldn't interact with it. So it was just sending it up.
Yeah.
So they changed it. So that obviously you could walk in and pick it up, but it wouldn't interact with things.
Yeah,
which it was just funny. I just thought, oh man,
that's pretty hilarious. Yeah.
yeah,
But 9 different versions of the game, man. That's crazy. Like,
they're
I
making their
wonder
money.
how many editions of GTA 5 are there?
I think it's like 4, 3.
Two. It says there's 2 distinct editions: the original edition, the enhanced edition.
Yeah,
But then you can get all those like sort of editions with like all the like shark points or whatever they're
well,
called.
that's
I don't
basically
know.
just microtransactions because
Yeah.
see, a thing about GTA Online has like the virtual economy, so like shark points are the dollars that they use, but like any economy, if you give people the ability to just buy more money, inflation goes through the roof. So that's why you have to have like 100 million point shark cards, because everything in the game is now so expensive that inflation has just run away with it. Yeah, no, it is.
Fucking microtransactions, man.
It's
It's the
crazy.
same with Red Dead Online. Like it was fun for like a short while, but like
Yeah,
you couldn't really get anything of value out of it because the like
yeah, it was just
I don't know, it was just infested with microtransactions.
microtransactions. Yeah, players that were just sweating the bit out, that had like everything already and just going around murdering you.
Yeah,
Wasn't-
100%.
Wasn't the best way to live.
No,
I want to talk about the streaming world. Actually, it's just coming to my head, and we were talking about it briefly. But there is, so on Twitch right now, it's going down. Well, it might be slowing down, but basically, there's hate raids going on. Which, if you're not a resident of Twitch, basically, so a streamer will have a huge audience in, and then at the very end of their stream, they will choose another streamer to send their audience to. That's a raid. A hate raid is where before they send the audience, they then tell them to, right, so when you get in here, like, this guy's black, so call him whatever, or this girl is trans, so say whatever, and then they send everyone over, and chaos ensues. People get banned, people have mental breakdowns, people have, I think, in the past killed themselves over something similar things. So it's
yeah, I have heard of a couple of suicides, like of Twitch streamers and stuff. Yeah,
it is an epidemic right now, but there is a shining light.
yeah. I think you should talk about like yes, the kind of like the like sort of like hate, as you say, but I think as well like another big part of it is metrics too.
Yeah, well, Twitch as well, it's very metric driven, so they don't really care about you. They
Yeah.
care about how many people you bring into the site, how many subscribers you have, how many ad impressions you get, etc., etc. But there is a shining light at the end of the tunnel that I've been talking to you about, that I've been talking with sort of friends about as well. That I chipped in a few pennies for. Like, I didn't have many pennies, like $5 or something. And it's called, I can never say it right. It's Altair. It's because it always makes me think of the guy from Assassin's Creed.
Because that's his name.
I'll whatever it is.
Altair.
But, yeah, but whatever way it is they pronounce it, it's not the Assassin's Creed guy. It's like a little star thing. Founded by Twitch streamer and
No idea.
ex-Twitch employee and ex-Facebook GitHub employee, Avalon Star. And basically, it's like a streaming platform with the streamer's mental health put first rather than metrics or selling ads or selling ad spaces. Because on Twitch now, there's like, you have an advertising profile. So like, based on whether your channel is currently in 18 plus mode, based on what you last played, how you speak, how you conduct yourself, you have a score on how advertiser friendly you are, and then that feeds into the algorithm that determines where you get placed and how you get. It's, well, Twitch say it doesn't. Well, actually, Twitch haven't officially said anything else about it. But you'd be daft to think they're not using that somehow. So Altair just basically is more focused on streamers just enjoying streaming, enjoying, Like you're never like, and then even on the user side, like, because obviously you might like a streamer, and you get some money for your birthday, you have an extra fiver lying around. Yeah, I'll subscribe. But then obviously you don't have that fiver all the time. So whereas Twitch is basically like, right, every month we're taking this fiver from you, and if you want to cancel, you have to tell us why. You know,
so they do it. Twitch do it like a direct debit.
Yeah, well, it's like an auto renew thing. So they basically just bill you every month a new transaction.
Okay.
By default, it's auto renew. You can turn it off, but if you want to turn it off, you have to be like, I want to cancel my subscription. Why are you canceling your subscription? Because I can't afford it. You know, it's like sort of things that people already know themselves that they don't want to then have to tell Twitch, because then Twitch are like, oh, well, you cancel that because you can't afford it.
Because it's not Twitch's business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Twitch is like, because then you tell Twitch why you're cancelling. So if it's because you can't afford it, then they put that against your profile. So the next time you're on Twitch, you see ads for debt management or that sort of stuff. You know what I mean? So, which, I mean, they don't say they do. They say they don't use it for anything, but I don't know. It's pretty sus. Because anything Twitch asks you about, or put it anywhere in general, they're gonna be recording it somewhere somehow. But by default on Altair, it's you buy it once, and if you want to auto renew, you have to go and turn it on rather than off, which is good as well. And then basically discovery, like, because that's a big thing as well. But why a lot of people on Twitch feel so burned out with Twitch, because you can stream every day consistently 4 hours a day for a year and never get above 4 or 5 viewers. Whereas on Altair, as I understand it, maybe I understand it wrong, I'll have a look into it and correct myself next week if I am, but you start out streaming, and if I'm live, I have just as much chance of being on the homepage or being recommended to somebody as Dr. Disrespect would if he was live with 20k viewers. And similarly, if he was live, he would have his viewers would have much chance of being recommended to me. So like it's like very fair. Like, you know, the algorithm doesn't reward or punish long streams versus short streams, or consistency versus inconsistency, which I think is good. There's a lot more about it. I'll leave more notes in the description.
It is good, but I guess one thing I'd say, like, kind of consistency versus like consistency. Like, obviously, people who are streaming consistently are gonna like kind of feel like they deserve like more recognition than people who aren't like streaming consistently.
Well, there's that too. So I'm not entirely sure how it's going to come down to it. I do know that they're not planning to have an algorithm that does punish you one way or the other, but I think, like with Twitch and with even with YouTube, like YouTube's algorithm, even they themselves, it's a black box. It's constantly changing. So YouTube wrote the initial algorithm, but they've also put code in it for it to amend itself, so now they don't even know what state it's in anymore. So I think obviously that works good for things like YouTube, where everything's pre-recorded, so you know what people like. But when something's live, it's kind of different, so you shouldn't be using the same algorithm, I don't think. But maybe I'm wrong.
I'd imagine I would find it hard to like kind of see those like top sort of streamers move away from Twitch towards it, because obviously they're going to be thinking to themselves, well, shit, I'm not getting the same level of exposure as I was.
Yeah, that's the thing. But business-wise, on Altair, it is a good choice.
100%.
Revenue-wise, they're going 60-40, I think. And then they're planning to... So the more, obviously, people are on Altair, the more they're going to make. So I think they're planning to adjust it so that eventually they only end up taking 10%, and you keep 90%. Okay. Whereas on Twitch, it's 50-50.
So they're taking 40% at the minute, or they're taking 60?
They're taking 40.
40, right?
Yeah. Currently on Twitch, it's 50-50.
Yeah.
So if a subscription costs $4.99, that's $2.99 and $2.98 or something one way or the other, whatever way it splits. And then Twitch keeps the slightly smaller amount, and you get the slightly, but it's only by like 1p or something. But the way Altair plan to do it is that they'll start off taking 60/40, so they'll take the 40 and you take the 60, and then as more people come in, they'll slowly start like lowering what they take, because obviously as more money's coming in, they can take less and still get the same.
Yeah.
So
Well, that makes sense.
I think they're only really planning to cover their operational costs and then like enough to have everyone paid, and then everything else they don't really want it.
Yeah.
Whereas Twitch is not only taking their operational costs and staff wages, but then keeping the extra for profits or for whatever. So yeah. Partner wise,
I think
oh no, go ahead.
I think you had like kind of mentioned as well that metrics are going to be disabled by default as well.
Yes, they are. They're opt-in and not opt-out, which is good, I think. Viewer count as well, you can disable it, but you can also disable it, because on Twitch now you can turn off like viewer count live. So like on your dashboard you can turn off, you can choose not to see if anybody's watching or not. But on Altair you can not only turn it off for you, but for the viewers. Because I found on Twitch when I'm streaming, like if I turn off the viewer count on my dashboard, someone will come in and be like, oh, there's only 2 viewers in here. And I mean, the whole point of me turning off the viewer count was so I wouldn't know. But thanks for coming in and telling me. Like, I know nobody's watching. That's why I turned off the viewer count.
I can see with that's a good idea, but at this
we're done.
But at the same time, like it kind of feels like in my head, it almost feels like you're kind of just like putting like a band-aid over a problem or something. Like I don't know, like if that makes sense. Like does it really solve a problem if you're just disabling your view count? Like it's kind of
on Twitch.
I don't know.
Yeah, well, no, I mean it's not really a problem. It's more on Altair. Yeah, well, it's more of like. I mean, it's not a problem in and of itself. It can be for individual people. Like, if you have a stream that goes really well, and you have like 10k viewers or something, and then the next stream you only get 100, only 100. Says me who never had 100 anyway. But like, going from that one extreme to another, it can be kind of like. It can give you like a mental like.
No, yeah, I get that.
Is it falling apart? Is everything going to like die now? Is my whole community going to leave? Like that sort of stuff. So I mean, it can be good for individual people. It's like that.
If you have your count off when you hit the 10,000 viewers, then you're not going to know.
Well, there's that too. But it's sort of like the high tide lifts all boats. So like, if it's something that we can't sort of perceive as being useful or needed. There is somebody that will say, "Oh, thank goodness for this." Like, I don't know. When people do it for fun, I say they don't really want to bother with view count and all that sort of stuff, which is absolutely grand.
Yeah.
Or like you can't go the other way, and like you want to play the numbers game. You want to see how many you get. You want to see your improvement. You want to, so you do.
So it's kind of leaving it in the hands of each individual, which is good.
It's even up to you.
I think
what
you
you want to be.
Yeah. I think you'd mentioned as well, like obviously, like people have different tolerances for stuff that kind of offends them, and obviously, like everybody should kind of be against like like sort of like hate crime and stuff like that there. But I guess there's like some things that the majority of people may not find offensive, and then there's other things that like a smaller minority might be offended by. So I think you had kind of said as well, you can like kind of like customize your own channel to like sort of lay out the rules for what you do and don't accept as well. So that seems like a good idea. Yeah. I think.
Well, I'm on their website here again because there's just like so much to it, because I've been sort of following it since it started. So like only really the most recent stuff is in my head. But they have a flat structure. So the way Twitch is now, you can sign up and start streaming straight away, and then you can go to affiliate and then partner. But the inherent numbers that are based in that, so you're like, okay, well, in order to get an affiliate, I have to have an average of 3 viewers over 7 streams, and have streamed 24 hours in the last week or whatever. And then partner, you have to have 75 average viewers in the last 30 days. You have to have streamed 200 hours. You have to have 100,000 followers, maybe subscribers. I don't know. Altair is basically just you sign up, and from the get-go, people can subscribe or not, or they can follow. So there is no partnerships. There's no, it's flat. Everyone's the same. So there is no mental games.
Is people subscribing to you the only way to make money, or how do you?
Pretty much.
How does that work?
Pretty much. I'm thinking. So, like from the start, so they'll have the Altair membership. I think I'm not sure how that's going because I don't see it much on the website. But I think I heard mentioned on the Discord that they are planning like a membership. So basically, you sign up for the site, and then you can use everybody's emotes, and then it's kind of like YouTube, or how YouTube first did Premium, or YouTube Red as they called it back then. You bought the membership, and then if someone that had that membership watched one of your videos, you would get a bit of the pot.
So you get like a bonus.
Yeah, but obviously because people only pay like $10 for it or $5 for it or something, and then
it's very, very slight.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, no, there's not an awful lot of stuff going on. Though there is an awful lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of things on their blog. You can altair.tv for it. Yeah, there we go. So basically, it's a seasonal model, so it's kind of like games and stuff. So there's going to be season 0, which is the season of the Visionaries. So that's like people that have supported at least $5 through GiveButter or invested a minimum of $100 through WeFunder. The GiveButter is still open, so you can still get in. So Visionaries can reserve their username, and they'll get streaming access when season 0 begins. So only Visionaries can stream when it starts, but then everyone can stream in season 1 after 3 or 4 months. So
yeah,
January, February time. So that's good. So it won't be immediately flooded with people streaming. So it will just be 400 or 500 people. 500 people, I think it is. There's 500 Visionaries. So there will be 500 people that you can choose to watch from the get-go. Obviously, not all of them will stream. A lot of them will have just wanted to support it. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah. I think it's great.
When is it? When's it releasing?
November, and that's all we know so far.
November
19th. They're thinking, I think, or November 17th, sometime in November.
Okay.
It was 16 weeks away in July, so that's all I know.
No, it's definitely an interesting idea.
Yeah, it's a good. They have blog posts about DMCA and how they're going to handle that revenue. Yeah. I don't know if they recap it or not, but I think yeah, no, they're going for the subscriptions, and then they have the Altair membership.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm trying to find it here. It's more than just, hey, pay us $10 a month. Yes, we plan a subscription service in lieu of ads, but it will be an option. So even if you don't want to subscribe, you can still watch and then subscribe to individuals rather than the whole platform.
Yeah.
So you can, if you just want to receive... hang on. All creators in Altair will receive a 60% cut of support at launch from what they're calling tokens. And a token is going to be equivalent to your normal $5 subscription. So a community member can give you as many tokens as they want. Yeah. So it
sounds like a good initiative.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, I'll put more in the show notes and stuff about it, and people can vibe on.
We can maybe leave a link to it in the.
For sure, it looks very nice. Like the designs they have, I don't know if those are the designs they're going to launch with. I don't know if they are just proof of concepts and they'll be slightly different. But if they launch it the way it's shown in their current mock-ups, I would happily buy it.
Yeah.
It looks really good.
Have you been reading any books recently?
No books recently. What was the last book I read? Hang on, is it actually up here? It is. It's up here. It is. I'll put it on the camera so that people can see it. It is A Dying Machine by our guy Mark Tremonti.
Tremonti.
What a book! I'm not even that far into it. I'm only on page. I'm at the start of chapter 6. I'm on page 71. First edition.
Hey, you get fucking reading.
Get reading, boy. Any books yourself?
Yeah, I actually went today and bought a new book by David Goggins. It's called Can't Hurt Me.
Oh yes.
No. Yeah, I thought like you probably hear me talking about David Goggins quite a bit. But for people who don't know who David Goggins is, essentially he was he was in the army, but then I think he left the army, and he kind of got really fat, and then I think he was working as like an exterminator or something, and I think he like kind of said like every day like after he would like finish his job he would go and like buy donuts and get like a milkshake and stuff, and he was kind of just living life on autopilot. And then I think he had like said there was like an advertisement for like a Navy SEALs or something on TV, and then it just like flipped something in his brain, and he decided that he wanted to go become a Navy this cough, man. He decided he wanted to go become a Navy SEAL, and essentially to become a Navy SEAL you have to go through SEAL training, which I think
I'm
is
reading his website
it's like a week of torture, which is we could also like put it like a picture of like David Goggins and maybe his like transformation like up on the screen or something, but so it's called Hell Week, which is essentially like a week of like hell where you get like very little sleep, and they kind of like push you to your limits, like you'll be like underwater, and I would imagine a lot of running, a lot of sleep deprivation, like kind of torturous stuff that like a lot of people couldn't handle. But so I think the like first time he went through Hell Week he actually dropped out, but then he went to it again, and I think the guy like said
here. It's 5.5 days of cold, wet, really difficult operational training on fewer than 4 hours of sleep. Test physical endurance, mental toughness, pain and cold tolerance, teamwork, attitude, and your ability to perform work under high physical and mental stress and sleep deprivation. And on his website, he's the only member of the US Armed Forces to complete SEAL training, including 2 Hell Weeks, the US Army Ranger School, and Air Force Tactical Air Controller training. So, my man doing the work.
He's renowned as like arguably like the hardest man alive, but I think whenever he went back to the Hell Week training, the like kind of the like what would you call it, drill sergeant or whatever, he's like, this is the last time I'm allowing you to go through this or whatever. But I think he had like kind of like ballooned up in weight again, so I think they were like kind of laughing at him because they didn't think he had like 3 months to lose, like it was some insane amount of weight, like I'm not sure exactly what it was, but I think for like 3 months he like basically like exercised all day and like only ate like I think it was like 800 calories a day or something, so it was like absolutely torturing himself. And then he he got through the SEAL training, became a SEAL, and then like after he left the military, I think he like he had to like leave because he had like some like heart problems or something. But then he hated running, so then he was always into like kind of weightlifting and stuff, but he hated running, so he like started like running. Sorry, this cough is really annoying. He started like doing all these insane amounts of like marathons and stuff for like 100 miles and stuff like that. So the man's just a machine, like, and I think he's like broken the pull-up world record. It's like
he did
over 400 pull-ups.
He did 4,000. He did 4,030 pull-ups in 17 hours. And after training, he tried it once before and he messed it up. So he trained for 5 months and came back and got it done. He ran a marathon in 25 hours 49. The Badwater Marathon, which is apparently the biggest.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
they do these like Moab marathons as well, which I think are like 240 miles. And I think he came second in it, but the only reason he came second is because he had like twisted his ankle near the end of it or something.
Yeah, he came third.
Oh, third was it?
Yeah, it's a 135-mile course starting 282 feet below sea level and ending at an elevation of 88,360 feet. When you search for the Badwater Ultramarathon, the first picture is David Goggins pouring water all over his face.
Yeah. But essentially now he's like a motivational speaker as such, and he's released his book, which I plan to start very soon after I finish my current I can't speak anymore. I've lost my voice. after I finish my current book, but yeah. So
yeah,
he's a badass. Check him out on YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get him on the podcast too. We're getting everybody we know and everyone we've ever interacted with on. We'll get Mark Tremonti and John Shirley on the podcast to chat about this book, which actually I think is quite well written. Because it came out at the same time as that record, A Dying Machine, and which was a concept record.
Yeah.
Basically about in the future, robots and stuff, like kind of iRobot, but different take on it, which is pretty good.
Well, I'm not gonna lie, I've literally just lost my voice, so I don't think I'm gonna be able to talk anymore.
My voice is literally gone.
1 hour. We're at 1 hour and 7 minutes anyway. So
well, I'm 1 hour and 8. Yeah, I forgot to press record for the first, or for the YouTube video anyway, for the first 8, 9, 10, 11 minutes. So the first 11 minutes there's no YouTube video for, but I'm sure we can find something to put on in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think that's we'll leave it there, I guess.
Apologies for the coughing and the fucking voice cracks and losing my voice, but I'm pretty sick at the minute, so hopefully I'll be feeling better next week. But I think I said the same thing last week.
You said the same thing last week, so hopefully you'll get going. Yeah, no, that's pretty much everything I wanted to cover. I didn't really have anything too much extra to say. But anyway, if there's anything you were interested to hear about and want to learn more, I will put links and stuff in the show notes and in the description box on YouTube. If you want to leave a message on Anchor, if you're watching or listening on Apple Podcasts or Google Podcasts or Spotify, if you go to the description of the episode and scroll to the bottom, you'll see a link to leave a voice message. Follow that. And then and let yourself be heard. You can reach out to us for all of your podcasting needs, of things you want to say about the episode, on Instagram at 2palsunlimitedcrack. I'm at Jim Bob, shown below myself. He's at LukeO'Kane20, shown below himself. And in the link trees in the podcast description if you're on one of those platforms without video. That's all I want to say. Anything from yourself?
I think you've pretty much covered it.
Thank
you very much for watching, and we'll see you
later
again next week.
Peace.